Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat. I like to read dark and weird books, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5 worst books I have read so far in 2024. So starting off at number 5, this is The Wilderness of Girls by Madeline Clare Franklin. This I had on audio from NetGalley, and we were on a long road trip. Perfect conditions for an audiobook. The audiobook was so bad, was so awful, that my husband and I both were like, absolutely not, we cannot carry on. We'd rather drive in silence. Okay, so this is about a troubled teen who discovers a pack of feral girls in the woods and is swept up in the ensuing mystery. So the cover is awesome. It has a bear trap as a crown in the woods. I'm hooked. It sounds great. I do know it is YA, but sometimes I will read YA if I think that the content is appropriately interesting to me. So I was in. However, the audiobook read so juvenile. It sounded middle grade to me. And then when it kept going, both the writing and the narrator combined to make it unlistenable. Number 4 is the other DNF on this list. So this is Destitute by NTW, another NetGalley arc that I had. Again, this sounds right up my alley. This one is an adult one. It's about a hunter, Val, who is an elite in her field. The cities need to expand. The wilderness and animals are hostile to human life. Her job is to go in and eliminate the dangerous beasts in the city. It's kind of a eco-dystopia tech type situation. I'm so in, and the main character is like a badass woman. Wonderful. However, it became very apparent after reading the first few chapters that the person who wrote this has a very poor opinion of women and or hates them. So numerous times characters were referred to like, there was a taxi driver who said like their face was so pimply that they didn't even know why they were watching like makeup videos because it wasn't going to help their ugliness anyway. Another character who was like, you could tell that her hair color was so cheap because she was poor or the color was awful. And I was like, that has nothing to do with the story at all. It's just you bashing on random women that our character comes in contact with like for the briefest moment. So it completely turned me off of the book and I'm just not into it. No thanks. All right, now we're getting to the ones that I did finish. So number 3 worst was Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. This is my first Darcy Coates and I will not be reading her ever again. So it's supposed to be a mystery thriller where this tour group on a bus, they get waylaid by a downed tree in the mountains. So they have to hike to like this abandoned cabin in the woods and a killer is like amongst them. Basically it's a like a closed room. There's nowhere they can go. They're being hunted off one by one. The main character is a woman who's fighting for her life. It's a remote setting. It's a cold setting. So many things that I thought I would love. It is so boring. And I picked the killer from the jump. Like immediately I was like, oh, that happened, then that happened immediately. And the only reason that I kept reading this because it was boring and repetitive was because I wanted to know if I was right. And I was 100% right. So yeah, Darcy Coates and I are not it, which I'm sad because there's From Below, which is like a scuba one that I've always wanted to read. So let me know, should I read that one? Should I give Darcy Coates a second chance or should I just be done? All right, number 2 was a NetGalley arc I had, Such a Bad Influence by Olivia Munter. This is talking about a young girl turned young adult turned new adult who her whole life has been in the spotlight as an influencer. So when she was a little girl, her mom put up a video of her dancing with her dad. Her dad then passed away, and then that video blew up because it was like daughter's last dance with dad before tragedy or whatever. Really awful, and it comments a lot on obviously posting kids online, child autonomy, what parents should be held accountable for. And it's told through the view of that girl's sister, because suddenly that girl has gone missing. And the sister and the mom are trying to navigate cooperating with police and also learning things about the influencer sister that they didn't know before, and trying to wade through like what's going on. So not gonna lie, it had me in the first, probably third. And I was like, ooh, there's so many things that could happen. I'm loving this. This is tasty. And the audiobook was really good too, until we get to the point where everyone realizes she's actually missing. And then there are so many like Reddit forum readings where the audiobook is not the way to go, because it was like, this one said at this time, this one said at this time, this one. And it was so repetitive and boring. I like, what's it called? I sped up the audio speed whenever we were in one of those sections, because I was like, ugh, it's repetitive and it's just complete gossip mongering that I'm not interested in, because it's like internet gossip followers who are just regurgitating what I already learned in the previous chapter through either the sister or the mother. So those instances really bogged down and made the middle soggy and slow. And then the last third, when you actually find out like what is going on, what is happening, it's so much less good than I thought it would be. Like I was so let down overall, the way that it was told, and the whole like last 2/3 made me really not like this. And I ended up giving it 3 stars, which is very generous in my opinion. So I don't recommend it. Obviously, I don't recommend any of these on this list. And my worst book of the year so far is Hard Copy by Fien Veldman, translated by Hester Velmans. So, okay. This has a low rating on Goodreads. It has a 3.34, which doesn't usually deter me because I do like to read weird stuff. So usually if it has a low rating, people are like, that was so weird. I'm like, that sounds perfect for me. So I don't mind. However, the low rating in this case, I think should be even lower. I give this book 2 stars. I really did not like it. So we're starting out and we're following a woman who is an office worker, and she's just cataloging like her daily monotony and like the sheer mundanity of modern work culture. So she works in a windowless room where it's like her, a computer, and a printer. And as time goes on and she gets a little more unhinged, she thinks that her printer is speaking to her and that they're having like a relationship. So the tagline is like girl meets printer. And I thought that this was gonna go off the rails. I was waiting to see what was gonna happen. Like, is she gonna completely lose her mind? But actually it was just so slow and almost nothing happened. So at the end, I was getting really pissed off because all of that for nothing. And the other thing that pissed me off is like when you know that a writer can write beautifully and they just don't use it and they don't take it anywhere. So like I'm on my Instagram. I do have a quote that I really loved. I really loved it. And I was like, oh my God, maybe we're gonna go and I'm willing to follow you. This is the quote. Anyway, the way I see it, since the human heart beats only by the grace of tiny electric shocks, we too are machines. Is that not stunning? It's stunning. It's beautiful. But we didn't go anywhere. And I did not like this, and I do not recommend it. I don't recommend any of them, obviously. Yeah, so those are my 5 worst DNFs and reads of the year. Please let me know what your worst books of the year so far are. Yeah, tell me so I can avoid reading them. Also, let me know if I should try again with Darcy Coates or if I should just give up completely, because that was a bummer. I will see you in another video soon. Lots of love. Bye.